Greetings. Greetings. Used to be named Uncle Odd, but now I'm known as Uncle Vigilante. And as you can see by the fact I'm wearing a gold chain with a Bitcoin on it, I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah, I'm a big deal. But there is one thing that my 43 attorneys that I just hired told me that I needed to say, which is a disclaimer. Don't take any of my advice. Don't take anything that I say on this show or any of my guests as sage counsel. Why? Why? Because I don't know shit. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. It's Uncle Vigilante. How are you? It's Wednesday night, and man, oh man, am I excited about this interview tonight. You may not know Enrique McMurphy, but after tonight, I promise you, you will never forget him. This gentleman who's coming to us internationally, he's an international superstar in crypto. and we're gonna give our backstory. We're gonna share how we met, and I will tell you by the end of this show, if you don't, have a quick dial into the Vite app to figure out how to buy you some Epic cash, then you just aren't paying attention. So welcome everyone, welcome all. Enrique, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Uncle. It's good to be here.
You are welcome. Let's start with how we met.
Sure.
Because this show is dedicated to Not and not dedicated to Michael. Maybe half dedicated to Dustin, but not dedicated to Michael. But it's dedicated to Not. But we met. There is a Telegram group called Kryptonaires. And yeah. I was on an interview with Dustin Plantholt. He came on my show actually, and Dustin is the host of Bitcoin.com's podcast. Awesome dude. And after that interview, I don't know, maybe he felt sorry for me, but he invited me into that Kryptonaires lounge. So I guess all of you are Kryptonaires, and everybody in there, it's obvious to me, has been around the block a time or two. So that's where we met. And I'd like for you to maybe start with a little bit of backstory so that people know that you came to Epic Cash honestly, and it wasn't without experience, was it?
No, exactly. For now, let's start off with the Kryptonaires Lounge. That's where I kind of consolidated with a group of people who I thought knew a lot about crypto and kind of had the same ideas that I had with regards to the industry. And so there I met Dustin, Aaron, KP, Mike, Not, all those guys, Boris, etc.
Yeah.
Excuse me if I'm missing one, but and Dustin, then you came in, and that's when I saw the shitcoin trials that you did, the video. And I had always been a trader for nonstop about 19-20 months, and in May I basically quit trading because I started getting involved in Epic. I first heard about it on your show, and I bought a little bit that night. As soon as it was like a 2.5 hour long interview, I remember, with Max.
Yeah.
The one you did. And, that night I didn't get any sleep, and I bought a little Epic. And then, I started the very next day doing the same kind of research nonstop and just trying to reset my mind and forget everything that I had known about crypto, or what because I come from the speculative side of the market.
Yeah.
So, and my research was usually kind of superficial for trading purposes, because I couldn't spend a lot of time doing due diligence, while the market is popping up and then dumping and, repeating that same cycle over and over again. So my scope of research was not as broad as, it was earlier this year. And, trading was very profitable for me. I started trading full time in November in 2019. And before that, I had been trading, but I had other things going on in life. I had a job and so my trading wasn't really that good in the early years, which I had bought probably my first Bitcoin in 2016 around June.
Hold on. Yeah. Anybody? We have some Enrique's friends and family that can't get on YouTube, so they're joining us. So we may have periodically just have some folks that we need to ask to mute. So thanks for hanging in there for those watching. Okay, sorry about that. Just a quick interruption.
No problem. Yeah. So after I did well trading, almost for 2 years.
So you did that full time. You were just.
Yeah, I did it full time up until May of this year. I did swing trading and occasionally some day trading, but in those 2 years, it was roughly over 1,500 trades. So I did do it consistently. And,
that's amazing. And did you just pick that up naturally, or did you have some training in it, or was it just the school of hard knocks?
I'll tell you about that. I bought my first Bitcoins in 2016. I remember I was on a trip and I watched a documentary. It was called The Bitcoin Gospel. And I remember on the very first scene, there was a guy called Roger Ver who was in front of a screen, and he was going to send Bitcoin to an address, and he was showing how practical it was that you could send Bitcoin from Japan to wherever, and it was unstoppable, basically. Yeah. So that message captured my attention, and immediately.
Where do you live? Where do you physically live?
Honduras.
Honduras. Okay. Yeah. So in Honduras, I mean, I imagine being able to exchange value from one country to another is important to you, Hondurans. Yeah.
Absolutely. From my professional experience, which has mostly been in like management and finance, I've seen like issues with all of the companies that I worked with in terms of sending money, like, for example, for an auction in the US or to pay a supplier. It's a hassle, so you don't really have much control of your money. And sometimes, not sometimes, but usually that costs companies money because you don't get shipments in time, and delays cost people money. So that's kind of what got me focused on that kind of issues and what could be the solution for them.
On electronic movement of money.
Yep, on frictionless movement of money that is also secure, and secure in the sense that it's protected from third-party risk, like the human element of the formula. That's basically what I was looking for, something that's neutral and for everyone.
Yeah. Basically. Well, it's interesting. I noticed in the Kryptonaires Lounge that once the light bulb went off in your head, you wasted no time. You jumped right into the community, and people watching this, please go to t.me/epic cash, t.me/epic cash. That's a great launching pad. From there are so many sub communities that are amazing. Like one of my favorites is Women of Epic. And these are women. One is an older truck driver who is like playing this. It's just a woman after my own heart, man. She just gets in there and she is making an impact, man, on the community.
Absolutely.
All of these women are, and they're
I'm very impressed with the work that they've done.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
and that's what's so exciting about it, and what gets me so motivated about being a Epic Cash fanboy evangelist is because I'm witnessing from the inside out the positive change that this community is going to have on the world. And I'm saying on the world. And I'd like to that end, I'd like to talk about you, Enrique. You raised your hand and you said, hey, coach, put me in, because one of the things that is kind of limiting, if you think this through, and I never would have thought it through. I mean, pretty much most of the team is US based, speak English, but guess what? There is a tremendous, believe it or not, this may be a shocker, there's a world outside the United States. There's a lot of people out there, you know, who need to move money too. And so you took on the translation of all of the documents. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, that was very interesting. But before we go on, I just want to quickly
Sure.
finish on the trading issue.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so the first few times I bought my Bitcoins, you know, I got wiped out 3 times. I had bought hundreds of Ethereums, a lot of Bitcoins, and I discovered leverage trading. And during my first couple of years, I got wiped out 3 times, and then I started accumulating XRP,
Yeah.
you know, and trading and investing in other coins, but mostly XRP. And about 6 months before the bull run started, I started, you know, kind of recording my trades in a more organized way. And then in January, you know, 2020, I, you know, basically did it in a more professional way, I would say, because I would basically sleep maybe 3 hours a night, and that would go on for weeks, you know. So
wow,
it became something that, you know, was very profitable, but not, you know, not the best strategy moving forward. And so that's why I got involved into Epic. And when I first, you know, looked at the translations that needed to be made, and I looked at all the content, you know, I started realizing, I mean, this really could be the best strategy for me moving forward, even as, you know, I had my trader mindset when I first started, because there's no comparison really to holding an asset right now, in my mind, that's, you know, 30, you know, 50 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of elements. We'll get into those later, but as far as the translations go, it helped me realize how organized this, you know, ecosystem is, and all the work that's been put in for the past, I think it's 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah, well,
it was
I mean,
launched in September 19, but Max and a few other
absolutely,
guys, you know, so it's, and what I see with this design, and what I discovered with the translations, was that a lot of the elements that many projects, you know, are having issues with, Epic essentially solves them. And so for me, actually getting down to translating each document and learning about, you know, each word and each concept that wasn't clear to me, I took a lot of time to like dig deep to understand.
That's
everything.
Fascinating. So just by the very process of going through it, you were able to self-educate because you had to. Because you am. Yeah, you still am.
I still am, because it's there's a lot of moving parts, and this ecosystem is, you know, like I said before, it's for everyone. So it needs to be, it has to have the components that allow, you know, every system and every person to interact with it. So
on the planet,
yes, every person and institution on the planet, you know, has access to this ecosystem and this cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and there are people out there that they understand crypto, they understand Bitcoin. There are people that don't, but I like to distill things down to the ridiculously simple so that all understand them. And for me, you know, Epic Cash is Bitcoin perfected. And when you take a look at the design, it's one of those to where it's good to be leading edge, not bleeding edge. And Bitcoin, amazing. It was the trailblazer. But then 10 years later, with the benefit of 10 years of advanced technology, Epic Cash was designed, which is everything people kind of think they're getting with Bitcoin. From a proof of work standpoint, it's designed exactly after Bitcoin, but the original vision, and it is, you can't surveil it. It is private. It is, Epic Cash is invisible Bitcoin. So all of these issues that people are having right now, to where, people are shutting down commerce, really, because they're able to surveil where these coins have been, and maybe these coins have gone someplace to where the people in charge, I don't know who they are, but there's a group out there, we all know that, but who have been censoring lots and lots of people over this last year and a half specifically. And the great thing about Epic Cash is nobody knows you have it. Nobody knows you sent it. Nobody knows you received it. And it is lightning fast. It goes like that. And it has a non-bloated blockchain, meaning it is so thin, in comparison to Bitcoin having, Yoga's going to kill me because I'll probably get this wrong, 455 gigabytes in the blockchain in each block.
Is 1.6 gigabytes. Yeah,
1.6 gigabytes, which means it can fit on your phone. The whole blockchain can fit on your phone.
Any smartphone, can fit the Epic blockchain. And I was looking at some statistics and forecasts today, and there's over 6 billion devices, and there's going to be over 7.5 billion in less than 5 years. So, the capabilities will grow, and that's pretty amazing.
I mean, imagine that.
Secure the network from your phone.
Yeah, you have the network on your phone, the entire network on your phone, and which means you're never going to be able to shut it down, and you're going to be able to mine it. You're going to be able to mine it. So that means somebody in North Africa, South Africa, Central Mexico, everybody is going to be able to walk around with their cell phone, mining, earning money while you are awake, while you sleep. And that's we're the only coin that's going to be possible. I'm not saying ever, but certainly nobody's designed it.
Yeah, that's what attracted me largely in the first place, because honestly, I fell in love with the Bitcoin concept in the beginning. I thought it was going to be a useful technology, and that it was going to, turn out better than what it has. But, with Epic, it's like you get all the parts and all the experience. You learn from the mistakes, and, they put together this, beautiful piece of machinery, trustless machinery.
Yeah. And for people who are interested and want to buy Epic Cash, you can down below in the show notes after this renders, and I can put show notes in there. Down below, you'll be able to find how to buy Epic Cash. Both there's a video and then there's a paper on it, and there's lots of other great content down there. Like you go to Epic.Tech, that's a great place to start. And I'm gonna admit somebody else here, and there's just a plethora of information down there. So people who don't know about Epic Cash, educate yourself first of all, but second, and maybe we'll jump in and give you a little sneak peek, but there's a good reason to get on in there and get some Epic Cash by downloading the Vite wallet, Vite Exchange wallet. It's down below, how to buy Epic. Just follow that 4-minute video instructions. And those of you who complain that Vite's kind of complicated and everything, guess what? When we have everything so easy peasy, Epic Cash is not going to be 50 cents anymore. We're going to be talking about dollars. So this is the timing. This is the time now. Let me tell you about what's going to happen. Go ahead, Enrique.
Uncle V, I'll interrupt you quickly.
Yeah.
With that, what you talk about price right now, I have this simulation I'm running between Epic and the top 15 coins. And, you know, if you follow that, you'll see how much Epic is going to appreciate, you know, over all those coins. So
can you screen share that at all, or send it to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Just give me a few minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. While you send that to me, and you could just send it in me, send it.
Yeah, I'll send it to your
Telegram.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys something, because the end of October is going to be Epic Cash's halving, and that means there's going to be, what is it, 5,600 coins a day that aren't going to be mined. So
it's 11,000. The current daily emission is 11,000, just over 11,000, and it'll be cut in half.
It'll be cut in half. So let me show you.
It's going to be about 5.5, and then it's going to be 7 halvings by 2028. There you go.
That's right. So I want to show you what happens when halvings happen. Okay, this is for Bitcoin from Jump Street, right? So the first halving of Bitcoin was right here at $10. What happened right after the halving? Look at this. In like what, 3 months, it was over 100, 130. Do you see that? Do you see that? Okay, well, let's fast forward. Let's go over to here, and let's take a look at here. It looks like it's about maybe what, 800? Looks like it took a little downward spiral. And then what happened? Boom, 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 boom. Right after halvings, went up to $10,000, and then it's going to keep going. So what's the moral of the story there? Why does that price action happen, Enrique, with halvings?
Because a monetary policy that's based on ownership and not debt, and that has scarcity programmed into it, and scarcity in the sense that it's not that Epic Cash will reduce in supply, but the emission rate will be cut in half during every halving. And so you know how many Epic Cash will be in existence, and there's no doubt about that. So that transparency is gold for a store of value from any angle that you want to look at it.
Okay, we're going to mute Walter there. Okay, we got a bunch of guests coming in, so I'm just going to ask the guests to, if you could stay muted, please. That would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, so the halving is a big deal. Let's looks like we have a guest here that all right. I don't know what's happening here. Let's stop the video there. Okay, there we go. That's a note to self. When I share the link, I need to say we need to share the link of the YouTube streaming so people don't come on in. Okay. All right, we're back. So the halving is going to happen late October. Last I checked, it's mid-September. I'm just telling you guys, get some Epic now. Not investment advice, just being smart. You know,
not investment advice.
Not investment advice.
No, people need to do their research and put in the time to read about it and learn.
Yeah, and it's not like we haven't provided a boatload of information on this channel. I mean, it has pretty much pivoted from it being dedicated to crypto newbies to being an Epic channel, but that's okay. It's my movie. My commitment to everyone was I was going to document my journey through my Epic epic crypto career. I never knew it would come to here, and who knows where it'll be in 6 months. But right now, I'm in the season of Epic, and it's awesome. And so there's that bit of news about the halving. The other thing is, I can't tell you the name, but I will say that we have sent the application in and the funds that were raised from the community to get listed on a meaningful exchange, one that's going to bring about 5 million people their attention to Epic Cash. And so what happens when coins get on a major exchange? You do the research. You know, I showed you what happens when halvings happen. Well, this is all coming kind of at the same time. And so all I'm saying is it's the time to be on the right side of those two things happening. And I think Epic Cash at 50 cents is just a absolute bargain. So
it wouldn't be a bad idea to get some at 50 cents.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Vite wallet, I'll just speak to that. You know, you have to get BTC to send it in and just follow the instructions. You know, you go to you download your wallet, and then you get your BTC, you open that up, and then you'll see a cross-chain deposit. And then that's an address that you copy. And then you go get your BTC and you send it to that address. And then it comes in, and what's that? Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy.
And then it goes into Vite is divided into two sides. One side is like your wallets. Those are your coins. The other side is the trading area. And
yeah, that's the part that confuses some people.
It is very confusing. I will deconfuse you right now, because the one thing that stopped me in my tracks, and I think it does everybody, is at some point in time, you get this block that pops up that says run POW, which is on the bottom, or run something else on the top. Just remember POW. POW. It's the bottom one. You just run POW all the time, and then it just works. And then you have to take. You know what? I'm destroying it. I just watch the video. It's down there.
It's simple. Just follow the guide and watch the video.
Yeah. So tell me about you came to Miami and you met with, I think you spent the day with Max Freeman. And for me, that was at a point in time that I didn't know him personally. I didn't know if he was just kind of a pseudo, like Satoshi was always going to stay a pseudo, or what, because, you know, all this privacy stuff, and usually I'm interviewing thumbnails. So thank you for being on video. Everyone thinks you're hot, by the way. Everyone's talking in the chat saying Enrique's hot. Sorry. Good for you, Mrs. McMurphy. So you met Max. Tell us about that. Tell us about that meeting, and sure. I think he impressed you.
Absolutely. After I started learning about Epic, I got involved in the Telegram groups and started talking, sharing my thoughts on the crypto industry and where I stood. And I noticed a good community. You know, they all seemed in tune with getting results and moving the project forward. And so I talked to Max, and he happened to be in Miami, and he lives there, but I was going to travel there. And so we decided to go have lunch and just, talk about crypto. And talking to him, we shared ideas, and it was pretty, I got a new perspective on the market, because I had been nonstop trading for 2 years. So it was like something new. I wanted to reset my strategy and say, okay, what's the best place I can put my money? And I started looking for options, and talking to Max, like, I had other coins, and I thought they were the best store of value. But after talking to him and going through the mechanisms, mostly of how these coins were created and how it all came to be, it opened my eyes to a few things that I did not like.
Yeah.
And it was pretty easy for me to switch from that to Epic Cash because of how he explained the things to me and the work that they're doing, you know, all over the world, you know, because it's a community that's in, how much is it? I think it's over 100 countries, and, you know, there's thousands, possibly tens of thousands of nodes in the near future. And so
it is
decentralized. You know, his
transparency
with how it was created, and with, you know, the first block being mined and everything, it attracts, because there's it's basically what I see, and people might not understand it, but I see this as a proof of work. You know, life is proof of work, basically, and I like how he put that into this project, and so that's why you know.
Tell me, you've heard me say this before. You've heard me say this before, probably, but because you've met him, maybe you'll agree with me. But if someday somebody said to me that, you know, that was actually Satoshi Nakamoto, it's like I would believe them, right? It's because his mind doesn't work like anybody else's I know.
You never know.
You never know. I mean, you genuinely never know. Anyway, he's a smart man. He has an amazing vision, and what he sees within the whole ecosystem, how he's been able to put it together, is kind of otherworldly, I think. And he helped me a lot too. I know he probably had the same conversation with you, but I was holding about, you know, 25 different coins, and we went through the exercise, and like let's say with Monero, you know, and you take a look at their market cap being, you know, 700 billion, I think. I mean,
no, 700 billion. Hold on, let me check that.
500, 400. I don't know. I thought R was 400, but let's just round it to 500 million. Okay. And it's a great privacy coin. It is, but
4.8 billion.
Oh, a billion. I'm sorry.
4.8. Yes.
4.8 billion in market cap. Now, everybody, right now, Epic Cash is 5 million. Okay. Yeah. So you have 5 million versus 5 billion. So the math is, if you were going to put would you rather put $1 into Epic Cash or $100 into Monero? And then you have to take a look at the market cap. Which is more likely to happen? Epic Cash going to 10 million in market cap, or Monero going to $1 billion? I mean, a trillion, right? It would be
it would double. It would basically be 10 billion.
A 10 billion. Sorry, 10 billion. I'm getting my illions wrong. 10 billion. So to get to 5 billion was pretty astonishing.
Yep.
But it's always harder to get to the next tranche. It's always harder.
Absolutely. If we take into account right now $1 million entering the Epic market, that'll drive the price up, you know, exponents higher. And with Monero, that'll do nothing. Maybe
it'll do nothing, right?
A few dollars one day,
right? And the other side that I want to just kind of get your opinion on, that I've really kind of had this aha over the last month, which is, I look at 5 million in market cap, and I take a look at what is a blockchain. What is this thing called Epic Cash or Bitcoin or Monero or Doge or any of these things? Yeah. Well, they are a collection of they're a store of value on the blockchain, and that value comes in different ways. You know, you can to be able to hold some Monero or to be able to hold some Epic Cash, you can do what? Well, first of all, the people who add value to the blockchain are the creators originally, but then you have miners out there that are mining it. They're adding value to the blockchain, and they get rewarded for putting that energy into the blockchain. And then you have people that just go buy it. But that's putting your energy into the blockchain, because you had to do something at one point in time to earn that money to be able to put it into that cryptocurrency. But then there's this other component that I just never really thought about, and it was the community. And it's people like you, it's people like me, it's people, the women of Epic Cash, so many people out there, Yoga Bear, Islo, Todd Lewis, just sorry if I'm so many people, White Tiger, everybody out there, amazing. They put their sweat equity into this to make it awesome, to kid test, mother approve it. That's what's happening right now with the version 3 v3 is Todd Lewis and his teams they've sicked the devs on it to try to break it before we release it, so that it is so airtight. But all of that is adding energy to the blockchain. And then, I look at it that way, saying, hey, if I put the same amount of energy into Monero, being a Monero boy instead of an Epic Cash fanboy, do I have the ability to move the needle on Monero?
No.
Zero. I mean, whether I buy it, I can't buy enough to move the needle. Whether I mine it, I'm late to that party. If I'm in their community is awesome, but I am like a drop in the ocean. But
on Epic, you can build something, but I mean, for growth are limited.
Yeah. But the opportunity to be in the Epic Cash community and actually make a difference, and think of it as your invested dollars. If you buy Epic, for you can actually come into the community and positively impact the price of Epic Cash by what you do. One person at a time. Man, I mean, I have my groomer now taking Epic Cash as a tip instead of the green stuff. Anybody who has service that's service related at all in my life, I have a conversation with them about Epic Cash, and I get them to download the wallet. What I do is I send them that 4-minute video link. I say, if you follow the instructions and send me your Vite address, I will send you this tip that I just tipped you in cash. I'll also send that as Epic Cash, just to be able to say, and let's just do a little mind experiment. You keep track of the value of that today versus in a year, 2 years, 3 years. And that same tip of green cash, see how much that's worth in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and that's called, adoption. You just got to get people to do it. So I don't know. I talked a lot right there, but what do you think about? I'm just so excited about the community aspect of this, and people count, man.
Yeah, the community is what's going to bring the use cases for the coin, which is perfectly designed to fit every use case on the planet. And it's simple. Use and will bring value. Use and utility will bring value. And if there's a community large enough to do it, and with Epic, there's a possibility for that, because anybody can participate either through work, money, computing resources, etc., helping out whatever way they can. They contribute and they're rewarded accordingly. So it's like the price you pay for it is the price you get, and the work you put in as well. So it's something that's I can't stop repeating, accessible for everyone. It's not only for crypto investors, it's for anyone who wants to secure value on a digital blockchain that's going to be mineable and secured by possibly billions of devices someday.
So John Lee in the chat has a great question. How do you see Epic Cash working out in Latin America?
I see it working out great, because in Latin America, all the countries, their national currency is dependent on the US dollar. The exchange rate is all based on the dollar, because it's the global reserve currency. And so when the dollar suffers, the other currencies, even though they might temporarily manage it better, it's all gonna be, like an avalanche, eventually. So, the dollar is the currency to watch. So Latin America needs to be very careful with, their monetary policy all across the board.
Yeah, the money printer going brrr is legitimate, and we've never seen so much money supply added in such a short period of time, and that's going to absolutely lead to inflation. And so when all of your buying power with cash goes down to next to nothing, it will be the opposite with Epic Cash. And I know that just some people just shake their head and you're only you're a micro cap, man. But the design of this is so brilliant. That's where people are going to make the money, realizing that early, realizing that now. There were people who bought Bitcoin at 50 cents. Epic Cash is Bitcoin perfected, and it's at 50 cents. So
there's many people who knew about Bitcoin when it was, a penny, a few pennies.
Yes.
And,
This
is, it's a different beast.
So one of the, this is where it gets complicated for me, and I know for other people as well, but I have a pretty good handle on Epic Cash. Thanks a lot, actually, to Michael Saylor, who did such great work with his videos about Bitcoin and educating us on Bitcoin. So when you watch any Michael Saylor videos, just think that he's talking about Epic Cash, except for a couple of things. One, you can't surveil it, so it's invisible. So you have that going for it. And two, it's not manipulated. I don't know how they're manipulating things, but these big whales in there are they can take out shorts like that, or longs or whatever it is. You would know more of that. But I learned a lot about Bitcoin. And there's also an excellent book called Bitcoin, Hard Money You Can't With. And it's written by Jason Williams. I'd highly recommend that to anybody who is interested in Epic Cash, because whenever he's talking about Bitcoin, just put in Epic Cash. And it's the same design, except it is private and it is lightning fast. So it cannot just be a great store of value, which Michael Saylor has sold me on that, but it is also a medium of exchange. So we can ultimately buy a $5 cup of coffee with it. Within seconds, it transacts and you get your cup of coffee. With Bitcoin, depending upon the day, it might take you $68 to buy that $5 cup of coffee and just transaction fees. And then it's going to take 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Maybe you pay more than $68 to get it there quicker. But meanwhile, us Epic Cashians over here are enjoying our coffee. And so that's the power of having a teeny tiny blockchain, 1.6 gigabytes, right? Can fit on your phone. So, but anyway, I was talking about Epic Cash. I get that. But then there's this thing called an ECR token, and EUSD. That's part of this trifecta. Can you explain to us a little bit about ECR, what it is, and why it's going to be important?
Sure. ECR is a governance token. If you hold a governance token, you have the right to vote on future proposals for the blockchain and for related activities. So it gives you participation within the network that, if you're a miner or you're an investor, you secure in one form or another. But it gives you, a voice and a vote in the system in what goes down. And EUSD is, you can look at it as the kind of like your checkings account, where you want to spend the money you have, but you don't want to sell the Epic, what you can do is you can put the Epic as collateral and you stake the ECR tokens so that you can unlock a EUSD loan at 0%. That's the value of the ecosystem, that by the time it's ready, you won't need to, have a rail or an off ramp to any other currency, because you'll be able to spend it within the ecosystem.
You'll be able to spend dollars.
EUSD, yeah, dollars, and pay suppliers
let's talk about
who
the
don't
EU.
want to take Epic as payment, because Epic fluctuates in price. So you don't want maybe a supplier doesn't want to take Epic, but he will take the EUSD, which is equivalent to $1 worth of Epic.
Okay, so that then would require retailers to accept EUSD, right?
Correct.
That seems like that would be a heavy lift. I lost your video.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So that I know Max has a great answer to that. I don't. But the EUSD, it's like we're so far ahead of the curve and actually having this built into our ecosystem. Just think about it. That there will be a point to where retailers will take EUSD, and when you have an appreciating scarce asset, you can borrow against that and spend it, and up to 50% of it. And as it's appreciating, it pays the loan off.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So then there's no tax liability with that. And yeah, so this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the vision and Max's vision and where this is all going is once you're knee deep in it, like we are, and you see how knee deep in it. Yeah. When you see how everything is coming together, it's like,
I was going to say another phrase, but we'll leave it for some other families.
It's not even close when I decide whether I should dump my Doge bag and go buy Epic Cash or dump. I mean, I'm getting out of all of my positions. Mostly I'm holding on. I still love my R, but I got out of Monero because I have a video down below on MixX versus Mimblewimble, and MixX represented Monero, not very well, by the way, but it's the one with the Dr. Seuss cartoon character on the thumbnail. But go watch that if you're interested in why Epic Cash is better than, or we believe can be better than Monero. Monero is still great. Don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is I exited it because I think Epic Cash has a better opportunity of going to 10 million in market cap than they do of increasing by 500 million.
Yeah, I look at it from my trading perspective. A concentrated position in this project that, well, I've come to know very well is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, so we're on the same page.
I got rid of all of my coins. I only have a couple that I need to figure out how to migrate because, technical stuff that I have to figure out.
Yeah.
But I want to sell them, rather quickly. So I'll be 100%.
So you're just
right now 99%.
I mean, think about that, guys. This man here is not an innocent. He's not a newbie. The guy made a living for 2 years trading cryptocurrency, and he is leaning into 100% position into Epic Cash. You kind of want to ask why.
Yes, because during the 2 years, I had to manage a risk strategy that was, that would protect me against bad trades. And I executed it pretty well, or at least it, made me about just over 1,600% return in those 2 years.
Wow.
So it wasn't bad, but you know, it could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Had I invested in a coin with good fundamentals that has use, you know. I did my measurements. Like I compared a lot of coins to my performance, and you know, I did well. I can't complain, but the best strategy moving forward to me is clear, and there's little doubt about that in my mind. And from trading as well, my biggest wins came from slightly more concentrated positions than my regular trading. So there's little doubt in my mind that this trade will probably be the most profitable trade of my career and many other traders who I've followed in the past and who I've learned from. If they, you know, pay attention and have this coin under the radar.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the chart that you sent me, and it's not allowing me to screen share. But what you've done is you've taken the top 15 coins.
Yes.
And
on September the 3rd, the top 15 coins on that date, and I compared the price of each one to the price of Epic that date. And I'm going to be doing regular updates on Twitter about where Epic stands with regards to the rest of the pack.
All right. First of all, why don't you let people know where they can find you on Twitter?
Oh, sure. Hold on. I don't even know my... it's a long number here. Hold on.
And while
it's at Enrique with a capital E. Get your pen ready. 249535585.
Say that again.
Enrique with a capital E at the beginning. 249535585. That's like the random number they assigned.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to walk through. So on September 3rd, you checked everybody's price in coins bought with $1,000.
Yes.
So for example, Epic, you were able to buy 3,125 coins. Sol, 7. Luna, 30.4. And so on. You do DOT, Light Cash, BCH, BTH, Link, Matic, ETH, ETH, which you could buy 0.26 ETH, ICP, XRP, BNB, Doge, ADA, and Uni.
Yes.
All right. Is there BTC is on there. You could get 0.02.
Yes. The top 15.
Yeah, these are the top 15. Now, so then you're keeping a tracker on the current price and total value of that portfolio, that $1,000. Yes. And who is up at the top? Epic Cash, 27% gain.
The last time I did an update, yeah, Epic Cash at 27%, but since then the price has increased.
Yeah,
it was at probably a lot higher. I have to do an update.
It was at 32 cents, and now it's at almost 50.
Yeah, at the time I did this, it was at 41 when I did the update. So now it's 50. So it's substantially higher. I have to check the price on the rest. The market has shifted green a little bit today, but we'll see where it stacks.
But bottom line is, that's a great exercise that you went through. That's very, very encouraging. I mean, you know, to me, it's just Austrian economics, dude. That was for you, Monk Man. I see you in there. I see you. Sup? The best meme maker in the world. See, and that's a cool thing about this. There are all of these different people in the communities. We have, if you go to t.me/Epic Cash, you can get started there. But there are little offshoots of that. If you're interested in trading, there's Epic Cash Trading. If you need some help, there's Epic Cash Help. But there's just so many different communities, and we're creating this meme side of the community that is just fantastic. And I love seeing that creative side of the brain at work. But yeah, so the moral of the story is, based upon the top 15, we're kicking butt. And I bet you when you take this snapshot this time, it's going to be even more impressive. And
yeah, I wanted to do one of the top 100, but that's just, too much.
That's too much. And people don't care. They have an attention span of a gnat. That's why people, don't like my videos, because I tend to go long, but
that's where you find the great content.
Yeah. If you hang in there, if you hung in there, I mean, Monkman, who would have heard me scream Austrian economics, dude? No one, right? So, all right, let me see what my list. The other thing is, within the community, people can raise money. They can raise Epic with
Absolutely.
Epic.Me. So t.me epicfundme.com. So, I mean, we have people that are well, I'll tell you a quick story. This didn't have to do with Epic Fund Me, but the guy, his name is Thistle. I initially learned of him in there, but this is a guy, I don't even know how to describe Thistle. He's one of these belly to belly people who he'll just get out there and street evangelize. He'll walk up to somebody on the corner and just start talking Epic Cash, total stranger, and he's always coming up with these ways to be able to give some Epic Cash away. He reached out to me, and I loved this tactic. He needs some Epic Cash to give away. And so instead of coming to me and just asking for it, he said, Uncle V, what's the most expensive cigar you've ever bought? And he said, I want to sell you the most expensive cigar you ever bought. It's just this cigar. And he told me what was doing with the coin. So I bought a cigar for basically today $500. I sent him 1,000 Epic Cash for that cigar, which is en route. But you know what? It's paying it forward. It's pay Epic forward, because if he can use those and give 100 people a little bit of Epic and get them engaged with it, then the network effect starts to happen, around there. So for me, I look at that as it's going to go down as probably the most expensive cigar bought in the world. They talk about that pizza that was bought. This is going to be a story one day that, that cigar I bought for $100 million or something. I don't know what it'll be.
I also bought some bags of coffee from my good friend Carlos. He has a company at
right.
Coffee. Yeah, and I paid him in Epic, and I'm gonna be, I'm gonna save those bags, so when I have people over, they'll be having $100 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
Like that.
Look,
it's like, as the network grows, it's gonna be fun to watch the price appreciate.
Let me tell you this. I don't think that I showed you the. All right, let me do this again, because this I think is important for the good people out there to take a look at. Okay, so
yes.
we are Bitcoin perfected. Okay, so we're priced about right here, 50 cents. Okay. Now, $100 is right here. Okay. So it took 2011. It took a few years to get there, but it got to $1,000. Things move quicker now. So I think the time horizon will be shorter, but I submit, I'm being Todradamus right here. I think we're going to hit $1,000 before, I'm going to say, what is it? It's 2021. I'm going to say we're at $1,000 in the year 2023. That's my prediction right now. I'm going on record. So that cigar will become $1 million cigar that I bought. How about that, Enrique? Do I get a mic drop for that?
People who haven't been in the space long enough and haven't seen what the market can do are probably not thinking that's insane, but that is a mic drop essentially from my perspective.
Yeah, it's not a stretch.
No,
with what I'm seeing right now, it is not a stretch.
when you figure out how the order books work and how the money flows within an ecosystem, you understand the potential of growth for a coin that is in Epic's position. It's no other way to put it or to spell it out.
What happens when you get listed on an exchange and you have all of this additional exposure? What fundamentally happens to price action?
People start buying because more people have access to it.
So then does that take some kind of marketing to get people's attention to it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marketing that is done by the community and in combination with exchange and all of the partners of the ecosystem. So it's a joint effort, it's not just community, it's the whole ecosystem, the whole.
Well, that's what's so beautiful.
Involved in it.
Yeah, that's what's so beautiful about the design of it and the ECR and having a DAO, and because that then provides funds through the ECR. Those funds that they raise can then be spent on marketing and getting exposure and stuff. So without that, there's the only way that you're able to raise money is off of there's like a small miners tax and then community fundraising, and it kind of sucks to keep going back to your community all the time and asking for more money. I mean, it really sucks.
But I mean, from my perspective, that's the best way moving forward because that is organic.
Yes.
Whereas with other structures where there's venture capitalists or loans or other types of financial agreements, it tends to complicate things a lot more. And as far as the transparency, there's kind of like a conflict of interest usually, So for me, this is the best. It's the best way to operate.
Well, and that's why it's a slow boil too, right? Exactly. When you don't have any pre-mine, that means that you put it this way. Anyone out there looking at a new coin or a project, really think twice if you see the word pre-mine, because that is just setting up a pump and dump. You just look at coin after coin and chart after chart, and you do the forensics, and you look back, and they all have that darned same curve that goes whoop, and then bam, and most of them never come back to life. And when you are on the top side of the buy here, and then it goes bam, and you never ever get your money back,
it's painful.
Totally painful. Totally painful. And so just word of warning, if it's pre-mined or if there's a ICO or if there's a corporation involved, there's going to be what's the word I'm looking for? There's going to be conflict of interest and gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's happening all the time. Censorship. There's going to be censorship because if there's money involved and people can shut that money off, then, you have to start doing the bidding of your masters. And so there is no master at Epic Cash.
It's neutral.
Yeah, it's totally neutral. Doesn't care who owns it, who holds it, who mines it, who puts their energy into it. It just mathematically works. It's Bitcoin perfected. So you brought in a lot of people. I think there's about 10 people into the Zoom meeting. So I want to say hi to all of you. And
a shout out to all of them.
Yeah, shout out to all of you. And
loving, caring, and kind. That's
great. I really enjoyed seeing your pony today, the video of your new baby pony. That was awesome. Yeah.
Lisboa is her name.
What's that?
Lisboa.
She's a cutie. Mama looked a little protective.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Get near her.
Yeah, I bet. So I'm taking a look at my list here, and I've kind of covered through everything I wanted to go through. Is there anything else that you want to chat about?
Sure. One of the the developments going on, at least in Honduras, from my side, besides the translations that we're working to get it, in all of the languages so that it's accessible to every country on earth, is clean energy mining. That's big. That's going to be a big focus. And besides the fact that Epic in and of itself can be mined with a regular home computer and a gaming rig, whatever device you can find at home, and soon mobile, that's going to be a huge plus. And to also establish certain mining farms that use clean energy, it'll also be great. So I'll get into more details as to once we have like the names of the companies, but we're working hard to make that a reality. And so
that's amazing.
Going to benefit a lot of people within the community surrounding the mining farm, and of course the people that are involved with maintaining the rig and everything. So it's gonna be epic. It'll be, you'll hear about it when it's ready.
What a use case. That's awesome. Yeah, I heard about that after your trip to Miami, and it also is a real solid answer to those people who have an issue with Bitcoin and how it's mined and how much waste there is, not just in electricity, but hardware.
It's crazy, like if you see a Bitcoin mining farm, if you pull up a picture on Google or whatever, you'll see these huge, they look like arenas full of machines, and each one costs, I don't know, 10 grand, 20 grand.
20 grand.
Each one. So you need to make an investment in the millions, and you have to have access to either free or the cheapest energy you can find. You produce it yourself. That's the other solution. Those are elements that are hard to put together, so it's not, who would want to participate in a system where the only people who are allowed to create a coin need to have millions of dollars to begin with today.
Amen. And that is the difference with Epic Cash. It is accessible to everyone. So it's called multi-algorithms. You have one algorithm you can mine on using your CPU, GPU, right? And then you have your ASICs, which it's those big ass machines you're talking about, but I think it's only like 13% is awarded to that algorithm. And then you have mobile mining that is going to emerge, that'll get a really big share of it. And so we can control where it's mined by the algorithm allocation. And we are really, really interested in having every person on their phone mining for Epic Cash.
Yeah. And right now, currently the computer CPU mines 60% of the time, uses a random X, and then the GPUs, it's 38%, and the ASICs is 2%. So it's a great balance.
So you can, so you're mining right now on your computer, right?
Yeah, it's currently mining right now.
See,
I give it some breaks sometimes because it's old and it's been through a lot, but
it's mining right now. And how long did it take for you to set up becoming a miner?
It took me about, personally, like 40 minutes, but because I had issues with the computer. But if I do it on another computer, it takes me less than, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes at most.
Wow.
And right now with the new miner, with the one click, it's as simple as clicking and you're ready to go.
So everyone interested in buying Epic Cash, go down below and find out how to buy Epic Cash. But for those of you interested in mining Epic Cash in the background on your computer, go to t.me/Epic Cash mining, or is it Epic mining? Let me look. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Let me look. It'll take me 2 seconds. EPIC. We have Epic Memes Cafe, Epic Cash Trading, Epic Cash Community, Epic Mining Community. There it is. Let's see what it is. It is, okay. It's t.me Epic Miners. MINERS, Epic Miners. And that's where you can go. There's a community of about 600 people in there that are happy to be able to help and happy to get you set up. And it is, you know, look yourself in the mirror and say, it's all for one and I'm the one. I can mine Epic on my computer. So
I don't know anything about programming. I can't code, but they helped me out. Like, you know, it was like, I have this issue and boom. And 1 minute they were up and ready helping me, and
we have
the issue.
We have a major miner in the house that is saying 2% for ASIC, 60% CPU, and 38% GPU. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, those of you who caught me earlier when I said yoga bear, I meant yoga dude.
Yoga bear.
That's funny. That was just stream of consciousness right there. So
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch the bear.
Somebody did. They commented in the chat. That was funny. Good. Well, hey, I want to tell you what's going to happen. You are the first of many, my friend. I am going to really work hard every week to be able to find a community member or a group. Like I already put out the feelers for those who would be interested in joining me from the Women of Epic Cash. I think it would be just a blast to have them all on a big Zoom call and just talk about their experiences, their background, and, you know, share their strength and hope for Epic Cash. But there's other people. I've got, I have, man, there's so many. There's a mining guy that I want to get on that is just taking a real deep dive. And I'm looking at my notes here. I have a bunch of anyway, just trust me on that. Stay tuned, smash that like button and subscribe. And why don't you do a favor for yourself? If you are an Epic Cash holder, why don't you make it your mission to just send a link to my channel to, you know, one person a day for the next 7 days, for the next week. And if we can increase the people watching my channel, they're going to learn more and more and more about Epic Cash, because I am unapologetic that this is an Epic Cash channel. It is a channel that started for crypto for newbies, but this is so important, I believe. This is like a movement. This is something that I'm so passionate about. And I feel I can move the needle, and I feel you can move the needle. And you just, if you're part of the community, lean in, okay? It's not that hard. It's not that hard to suggest people subscribe to my channel. Not for me. I could give a crap about the number of subscribers I have. I never cared about that. I just do what I do. But it is important for you, because people are going to learn. And the more people who learn about this and start to understand it and comprehend it, the more that this is going to be just organically blossom. And that is my hope. So, Enrique, you have anything to, I think we should probably wrap it up. We've gone over an hour, and I am grateful for your time, but I'm learning we got to keep these a little shorter than I usually do, because it's a big bite, 2 hours. So thanks for coming on, man. You were just great.
Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome. And I can't wait to see you in the community and Kryptonaires. And I can't wait for Michael to say something negative
Shout out to Michael and especially not. And Emilio,
especially not,
all of the guys.
Because this show is dedicated to Not. He's the inspiration for it, and he's what makes this world go round. Naughty little. All right. Hey, everyone in the chat, thank you. Major Miner said Enrique nailed it, and thumbs up for that. You did. This was just fantastic. I know everyone enjoyed it. Thank you. Thanks for your family for popping in. Really appreciate that. And we'll have you on again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Cheers, guys.